Hi, my name's Katie. I'm a professional makeup artist and I am here with makeup tutorials to help you get really good at doing your own makeup. In this video, it is the next step in my beginner makeup series. We will be going over how to apply your complexion products. So if that sounds interesting to you, just keep watching. Back again with the next part of your beginner makeup tutorials. This is going to be all about complexion. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to use your foundation and concealer to create your complexion, right? It's pretty simple. So we started with our eyes, so the eyes are already done. You can see the other video that I posted to see how I did this eye look and how you can follow along and do that. And in this video, we are now going to do our complexion. I usually start with the eyes, just in case I get a lot of fallout or I mess up. I can clean all that up really easily and then move on to my complexion, right? It's just my personal preference. You don't have to do it that way. It's just how I do it. So play, have fun, see which way you like better. Try some different things. So the most important part of making your complexion, your foundation look good is going to be your skin care. It's very important. Skincare is the very first thing you should be focusing on when it comes to playing with makeup. You should make sure that your skin is in good shape. Now, I don't have any makeup on today. I have rosacea. I'm very pale. I turn red very easily. I'm very touch sensitive. So if I really touch myself a lot, my skin turns red, turns pink, right? So you can see the stuff I've got going on. I use skincare in order to keep my rosacea and my skin sensitivities under control and to keep my skin in the best condition possible, okay? So you wanna make sure that you're on a good skincare routine. That's another video entirely. But for the complexion, the reason I mention it is because you want to make sure that your skincare and especially your sunscreen has soaked into your face for about 15 minutes, right? So it's one of those things where if you're getting ready in the morning, do your skincare, get your sunscreen on, go eat your breakfast, come back, or go do your hair, come back and finish put your makeup on, right? So skincare, very important. Let it sink in, do its job, get your skin where you want it to be for at least 15 minutes, okay? So what I recommended in my beginner's makeup kit video is a tinted moisturizer and or a powder foundation for the whole face, okay? So that's what I'm going to be using today. So we're going to use our hands for this, because for a beginner, that's going to be the easiest thing. This is the Pixi H2O Skin Tint Tinted Face Gel. I love this one. I am highly sensitive to sunscreens, so finding a tinted moisturizer that does not have sunscreen in it is rather difficult, and so I'm very happy that I found this one and that it's so good. I love the level of pigmentation and hydration that's in this formula. If you are not sensitive to sunscreens, then you have a lot of choices that you can make besides this one, because I know this one is on the higher end of the price range. It's about $24, right? But you can find a lot from L'Oreal, Revlon, CoverGirl, tinted moisturizers those have sunscreens in them typically. I can't use them, but maybe you can. So I'm going to take this color here is Nude, is the name of this color. It's not their lightest one, it's the second one. I'm pretty pale, so I'm going to put this on my fingers. I'm gonna do two pumps is all I'm gonna need. And I'm just gonna pat, not rub, because I'm not rubbing it in my fingers, I just wanna distribute it, right? So now I've got it on my fingers, and I'm gonna start in the middle of my face where I need the most coverage. Where most of my redness is gonna be on my forehead, my nose, my cheeks, my chin. You start with wherever redness you have, right? If you have a lot of acne along your jawline, start there and work in. If you're red like me on your nose, start there. Okay, so start where you are the reddest, pat it around, right? And then we're just going to lightly buff it in. I'm going to use tapping, little circles, a light touch. Do not press hard, you'll end up just rubbing it away. And then what's the point, right? Now I recommend this product and this type of application to beginners because it's very easy, right? It's easy to use your hands. It's easy to feel how hard you're pressing, right? Bring it down under the chin, blend it, and then press. I'm just pressing lightly so that it all sinks into the skin, just like that. Oh, it feels good. I love a tinted moisturizer because it just hydrates the skin. It feels good. And my skin is oily. Right? So even oily people like hydration. It just feels good. Okay? So now I want to get this off my hands. So I'm going to go wash my hands. All right. Hands are clean. So now we can move on to the next step. Now, if your skin is dry, normal, heck, even combination and oily, you may be good just there and you can just go right onto your next steps in your complexion application. But I want to show you how to use a powder foundation if you would like that, if you need a little bit more coverage, right? So if you look at me on camera, this isn't quite enough coverage. I've got some redness that's still showing through, some uneven texture that's still showing through, right? So first, what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our concealer before we do our powder. Creams lay better on creams than they do on powders. So while you can put a powder on top of a cream or a liquid, it's much more difficult and dependent on the formula to put a cream or a liquid on top of a powder. Right? It's not impossible, but that's a beginning step, right? You remember, cream on cream, powder on cream, no cream on powder, right? Okay. So I'm going to use a concealer. I've got the Instant Age Rewind Multi-Use Concealer, the Instant Age Rewind Eraser. This is in the color Ivory 100, right? So this one, you click up product. Sorry, my eyes are blind. There we go. You're going to click up product and it will bring product up into this spongy tip. I'm going to show you on the back of my hand here. So when you push, right, the product is in this sponge tip here. So I'm going to look at my face and I'm going to say, okay, where do I need a little bit more coverage that tint didn't quite get me there? Okay, so we're going to look at my face. I've got a couple of red spots here on my forehead. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Put a little bit of product there where I need them. Okay. I've got a little bit here on my nose. So I'm just going to deep, deep, deep. A little bit of coverage there. And around the nose. And a little bit here. And I'm going to do the under eye. You don't have to conceal your under eye if you don't need to, right? So I'm going to put it just right here. This is where I need it. And you can see I'm putting hardly any product on it, and I need some out here. I've got some discoloration out here. Okay, so those are the spots that I want to cover. So now that I have the product on, I'm going to tap very lightly on and around those spots until they blend in. Yeah? Now, I don't want to swipe, I don't want to rub, because that's just going to take the product away. Be patient. You want to tap until it blends in. The concealer, I'm just blending it in right where I put the color, inner and outer, before I blend it across the rest of the under eye. And then just lightly patting across the rest of the under eye. Right, so I'm not disturbing that eye makeup that I put there, but I'm getting a good blend across. Make all the faces that you need. It's part of the technique, right? Okay, so got a little blend right there. And the nose. Yeah, so that coverage is a little bit more of that redness is covered. Yeah, you see that? Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my powder foundation if I'm using it. Like I said, you don't have to use it. Okay, so this is the powder foundation. This is the Age Perfect Creamy Powder Foundation, L'Oreal. Age Perfect, right? So this comes with a sponge in the bottom of the container, right? It has a mirror there and the powder on top. So I'm going to take the sponge that it comes with, one little swipe there, and I'm, again, just like I did with the Tinted moisturizer, I'm going to focus it on the areas of my face that need the most coverage. So right here in the center, again, just that patting, stippling motion. The nose. If you're oily, put it where you are the most oily, yeah? I'm right across there. I'm not really coming into the under eye area, just the space where the under eye concealer meets where the tinted foundation was, if that makes sense. That's where I'm coming with it. I'm not gonna set the under eye yet. I leave that until the very end, right? Because I want that concealer to set in the under eye area a bit. Okay, that just gives me just that much more coverage that I wanted. And it's gonna help mattify my oily skin throughout the day. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I would set my under eye concealer. You don't have to set it, but if you find that you get a lot of creasing, then you just the barest smidgen of powder is going to set your under eye. And you can use a translucent powder, which is my personal preference, or you can use that same powder foundation that you had. So that's what we're going to use, right? And I'm going to take in my brushes, right, we had a big fluffy brush and we had a smaller fluffy brush, right? We had a bigger or smaller. I'm going to use the smaller one for the under eye. I'm going to take my towel, make sure it's clean. If I used it for something else. And I'm going to just tap the side of the brush. Tap, tap, tap. That's it. That's all the powder you need. Knock off any excess and lightly pat, right? You may want to take your finger and pat over any creasing that may have happened before you do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, lightly pat right on top of that. Just patting it. Okay, now I'm going to warm up my hands a little bit. This is how we set the under eye. I'm going to warm up my hands a little bit, and then I'm going to press. I'm going to bring that warmth that really makes those products work into your skin. I'm going to help it out a little bit, right? So I'm just pressing that in. Okay, and that is your complexion. Done. Right? Tinted moisturizer, powder foundation if you want it, concealer if you want it. That's how you use them. If you want to use them, play around, have fun, see which techniques and types of things that you like. I hope that that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please ask them down below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.